Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive Level 2 Reporting Environment Navigation Training for the recently updated version of COGNOS, the IBM Business Intelligence software that facilitates L2RPT and provides a tool set for reporting and analytics of your state reportable data. Let's take a look at what this training will provide. In this course, you'll be presented with the basics of what you need in order to use L2RPT for your advantage. First, we'll review how to log into Level 2. Then, you'll be presented with a number of icons that you'll encounter in a number of categories, including icons that are persistent throughout the platform, content icons that are specific to two areas of L2RPT, and icons that you'll only see if you are running reports. Then we'll move on to learn how and why you'd want to subscribe to a report, and we'll wrap up by learning how to create a shortcut to any file type on the platform. Let's go ahead and log into Level 2. This is the login screen as seen in the autumn of 2023. The background changes seasonally or thereabout, so don't worry if your login screen looks a little different than this, as long as you've gone to the link at the top of the screen. Incidentally, you would use this same link whether you are logging into Level 2 or Level 1, so bookmark it to keep it at your fingertips. You can select Level 1 or Level 2 from the first dropdown. For this session, we've selected Level 2. The next field is your username. This is usually your first name followed by a period, and then your last name, all lowercase, no spaces, as seen in this example. Your password is user-defined and is the same password you will use for all of your COGNOS entitled accounts. If you have issues logging on, click the Sign In Issues link at the bottom of the page to be redirected so you can change your password if need be. Once you've logged in, you will see the NICET agreement, and we'll get started with looking at the icons you will see across the COGNOS platform. There are a number of different types of icons in Level 2. The first ones we'll look at are available no matter where you are in Level 2, whether you're on the home screen, running a report, or doing any number of other functions. This is what you'll see when you log into Level 2 for the very first time. If you've already logged into the updated L2RPT previously, you may start on another screen, but you can always get back here by clicking the NICET Agreement L2 link. I'm going to increase the page size a little so items are easier to see. Let's take a high-level view of the icons that are persistent in Level 2, and we'll follow that up with some more detailed information about each of them. First, we have the content areas. This menu used to be along the left-hand side of the page in previous versions of COGNOS, but now we see them across the top. This is where you will go to switch between the different areas of Level 2 that you have access to. The NICET agreement that we are looking at now, a Level 2 dashboard, team content, which is where you'll find all of your reports, and my content. In the upper left-hand corner, there's the hamburger menu, where there are some useful actions you'll be able to use to make navigation easier. Next is the home icon, followed by the switcher, which enables you to switch between files that you have open, a very useful search box, learn, notifications, and personal menu icons. Let's take a closer look at each. When you open the hamburger menu, you notice a number of items populate underneath it. From this menu, you can go to your home screen create new data or presentations, visit a page where you can select from My Content or Team Content, and finally, review items that you've recently had cause to look at. When you click on Recent, a list of your recently viewed content will appear with that content's file path underneath it. This is a helpful tool to find a report you looked at yesterday or last week or last month. You can remove an item from this list by clicking on the Remove icon to the right of a file name. As previously mentioned, the first item on this menu list is Home. One of the great things about COGNOS packages is that there are redundancies, meaning more than one way to complete the same action. Another way to get to your home screen is to click on the persistent home icon here. No matter where you are in level 2, you can always go to your home screen by clicking here. Simple enough. Let's move on to the switcher. As previously mentioned, the switcher helps you switch between files that you have open in COGNOS. When I clicked the switcher, a list appears underneath it of reports that I've opened today. I can click on the name of the report to view it again, or I can click on the X to the right of the report name to close it. Search functionality has been improved from previous versions of COGNOS. It used to be that when you entered a search term, that everything with that term would populate the suggestions list below it, including items that were not usable in the reporting environment. Now, when you enter a search term, it will only show the items that are valid for use. This makes the search function much more user-friendly than it used to be in previous versions of COGNOS. You might think the question mark in a circle is a help menu that will help you with your reporting, but it isn't. It is specifically for support on COGNOS itself and not level 2 specifically. The only reason I'm mentioning this icon at all is because it's on the screen, and I don't want you to get confused when it doesn't have the information you're hoping to find. Unless you are a COGNOS developer or want to go next level, it's probably best to leave this one alone. All right, on to notifications. As you can see, I don't have any notifications to show you, but if I did, they'd be displayed here. Notifications might include an update to a report, an action you need to take, or a message someone has sent you. Lastly, there is the personal menu, where you will see items that are specific to your level 2 account. You can view and edit your profile information and account settings here, including defining what you want to see as your home page. You can log into another namespace here, namely level 1, but remember, you can't be logged into both level 1 and level 2 concurrently, so it's best to log out of one before you log into another. The other useful item here is the log out option. It is best practices to end your session by clicking here rather than just Xing out of the screen. Let's go back to our content area menu across the top and click on Level 2 Dashboard. As you can see, there's a lot of information in this section, and you may recognize it from previous versions of L2RPT. This is because it is the same page as was previously used to navigate. Notice that all of the available reports are listed under a section heading equal to the folder name where you can find said reports. For instance, all of the reports dealing with graduation are in the annual outcomes folder. This page is a great resource to use as a sitemap. So when you get into the team content folder, you'll know where to look for your report. It is best to use this page solely as a sitemap and not as links to the reports, because since this is a page from an older version of COGNOS, the reports clicked on through this page are also older resources, older layouts, older icons, older functions. So to reiterate, don't click on a report or an action on this page. Rather, only use it as a sitemap. Even though you can see all the reports here and what folders they are in, it still may be difficult to navigate for the sheer size of it and the fact that you have to scroll. But there's an easy way to search the page. This pro tip works in all of your applications that you look at online through a browser, as well as in many applications such as Microsoft Office. To search any page, hold down your Control key on your keyboard and press the letter F for find. Do this if you're using a PC. If you're using a Mac, hold down Command and press F. Either way, this brings up a search box that will allow you to search the page you are on. This is different from the search functionality within COGNOS, seen here. That search box enables you to search for content within the entire L2RPT environment. But this search box enables you to search the page that you are looking at. I find this type of search particularly helpful with the SIRS manual, for instance. Since I wanted to find a particular graduation-related report, and I couldn't remember the name of it, I started typing in the search field. And as I typed, all items on the page became highlighted that have that string of characters in them, as you can see with the yellow highlights here. And I go back on what I said before, not all the graduation-related reports are in the annual outcomes folder. Here's one in course. Next, we'll discuss what you can find in these reports, because remember, don't click on them here. Team content is where you want to go to look at your reports. That's your portal for reviewing the reports. When you click on team content, you'll be presented with two options. To view the report folders, choose L2RPT reports. Set us. If you're ever confused about which one to choose, always remember that since you're looking for reports, choose the folder with reports in the name. Everyone with level 2 access can see the items in team content. My content is another story. When you select My Content from the content menu, you will see a listing of any items that you have saved for your own personal review. Every level 2 user has their own My Content section, which is private to them. You cannot see what is in someone else's My Content folder, and no one else can see what you've stored in yours. I added SED's Level 2 Reports Guide webpage as a link in My Content, since I go there often when I'm looking at reports. You can add a number of different file types in My Content, which we'll discuss in a little bit. Some more icons you will see wherever you are in Level 2 help you identify the file type. While it's written out for you in the type column, folder, URL, etc., it is also useful to know what their corresponding icons look like, so you can know what file type you're dealing with at a glance. Most of these are pretty clear, so I'm only going to mention the reports view and report icon. They both look like a bar chart on a clipboard, but the report view icon also has this stylized eye on it. We'll get into what a report view is shortly, but for now, let's look at some other types of icons you'll encounter in Level 2. Whereas the container icons we just learned about are persistent throughout the site, content icons change depending upon what section of Level 2 you are working in. Let's have a look. The icons on the right are available in team content, as well as in My Content. This view was taken within the My Content area, as indicated by the words My Content being in bold, as well as the blue bar underneath the content heading. Let's take a look at each of these icons individually, starting with the filter icon. The filter icon lets you filter all the content on the screen by type, as well as when it was last modified. To use the filter function, you need to select at least one of the options seen here in the type or modified sections. You can also select choices in both columns. To filter by type, you can choose one or more of the file types listed by checking the box next to it. To filter by when a file was modified, you can select just one of the radio buttons in the modified list. You can also filter by keywords. If you have a long list of saved files and you want to find the one about pre-K enrollment, just start typing in the filter by keyword search box, and a list with items that include that keyword will be filtered for you. Sorting files is a similar process. Select the sort icon and define your sorting order by choosing one radio button from the sort by list and one from the order list. If you were to save a file to My Content, it just goes to the root of your My Content folder. This can become troublesome if you save a lot of work, because even though you can filter and sort your files, you may have a lot to filter and sort through. Creating a folder hierarchy can help keep your content organized better. Here's how you do it. It's important to note that you can only create a folder in the My Content area, even though the icon is also available in Team Content. First, you would click the Add Folder icon, at which time a pop-up box appears. Type your desired folder name into the dialog box and click Add. And voila! We can see our new Snapshots folder here. You also have the ability to create links in Level 2. Links open in a new tab, so you won't lose your place in L2RPT when you want to come back to it. First, click on the Add Link icon to get this pop-up. Now type or paste the URL name, which is how your link will appear in your list, a description of the page you are linking to, if you'd like to, and the actual URL. Once your information is populated, click the Add button to create your link. And there you see our new MHRIC help link. Feel free to add this link to your own My Content folder. It brings you to an online form where you can create a help ticket for various departments at the Mid-Hudson Regional Information Center. Be sure to select the data collection and reporting case type in the form if you want to send your question to the Data Warehouse Help Desk. We can help you with Level 0, Level 2, NISIS, CEDAS, and general reporting questions. Let's move on to the refresh icon. Clicking this refresh icon may refresh a page after an action was taken. Try it out for yourself and let us know what you find out. The settings icon appears if you are in list view. Right now, we are in list view. You know you're in list view because of the darkened list view icon all the way to the right, as well as the file names being displayed as a list. The settings for list view are compact, which looks like this, short, which is slightly less compact, and default, which is the fullest view and includes the URL description that you created when you added the link. Choose the list view you like best for your needs. Tiles view is a little different in that the files are now in a tiled format instead of in a list. If you hover over any of the tiles, you'll see 3 dots that indicate an action menu. When you click there, you'll see options about how to affect the file. This submenu allows you to interact with your selected file in a number of ways. Most of these are common actions, or at least self-explanatory. We'll be going over some of them shortly, including creating a report view and sharing. The icons and actions in this section of our training are only available when you are interacting with reports in Level 2. Recall that even though Level 2 dashboard shows you a view of all available reports, you don't want to interact with them there. Rather, you need to select Team Content from the Content menu. And here's what that looks like. Depending upon whether you are in List View or Tiles View, you may have to scroll to see all of the folders. The CSRS 401 Reasonableness Report is a red flag report that shows you discrepancies between last year's and this year's data in certain categories. Let's select the Reasonableness folder to see what's inside. There may be a number of reports and folders in the Reasonableness report, in the Reasonableness folder. From here, select the CSRS 401 Reasonableness Report by clicking on its name. That will bring you to the actual report. From here, populate all the drop-downs so they suit your needs. Most users will only have their own district available in the district drop-down. I want to see all programs data across the district. So once I've filled in all the variables, my report populates. If it does not automatically populate the screen, you can click the Finish button to complete the rendering of your report. Notice that some new icons have also appeared in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You'll use this set of icons to interact with your report. First, let's look at the Edit and Save Report output icons. Even though these icons are on the screen, we do not have rights to edit or save a report output. So I'm not going to go into any detail about them at all, other than to say, please don't use them. The save icon does not download your report. We'll learn how to do that in a couple of minutes. What the save icon does do is it saves a report view. Remember, we talked about a report view icon with the little eyeball on it. Okay, so great. What is a report view exactly? A report view is a snapshot of the report you are looking at for exactly and only that specific moment in time you are looking at it. A report view is static and will never update. It is almost as if you were taking a picture of the report, but keeping with the text and formatting so you can still interact with it like copying text. Remember the snapshots folder I made earlier? Let's save a report view to that folder. First, you click the save icon, and then Save Report View comes up as a sub-menu item. Click on that. At that point, a dialog box will appear. The name field will default to report view of, followed by the report name that you're looking at. Since this is a snapshot of a particular moment in time, it is best practices to append that name with the date you ran the report to make it easier for yourself to tell one report snapshot or one report view from another. If you save a report view of the reasonableness report 10 times, they will all be named the same exact way. So word to the wise, append it with a date for better organization. I wasn't so wise when I named my report. Okay, so after you've entered your name and date, the report name and date, it's time to select the location where the report will reside. Click the Select My Folders link, which will bring you to another screen where you can choose the location. Remember that snapshots folder I made earlier? You can select that from here. Or if you wanted to make a new folder, you could do that from this dialog box as well. We're going to save it in snapshots. So once we've selected where we want to save the report, go ahead and click OK. This brings you back to the original dialog box and shows you the report name once again. Don't forget to put the date at the end of that. And the location that you've selected, My Folder, Snapshots. If everything looks okay to you, click OK. And there you have it, the report view of SIR's 401 Reasonableness Report in My Content Snapshots folder. Okay, so let's say you've rendered a report and you want to share it with a colleague. Well, there's an icon for that too. It's the share icon. When you click on the share icon, it opens a dialog box that gives you two options, send and link. The link option shows you a link you can copy as well as embed code you can download. For our purposes, I'm going to show you how the send function works. In the share dialog box, make sure you've selected the send option and that the email radio button is selected. Click next, at which time another dialog box will open. From here, you can select your search method. I selected contains because that's the least restrictive option and will return the most results. After that, you can begin your search. It's important to note that you can only share with other level 2 entitled users. Let's say you wanted to send me a report to look at. Just start typing my name, and if nothing shows up, click on the search directory link. That will populate a list. Note here, I put in my first name dot last name because that's how usernames are defined in level 2. You can try other ways to search for a name, but this way worked for me. Select the result that you want to send to. Here's a list. I selected this one. And scroll down to write your message. There's a scroll bar here. You will have to scroll down, and then you will see this. After scrolling, you'll see this message field. You can write any message you want, but I recommend at least putting who your message is directed to, the body of your message, and your closing signature. This is important because if you don't, the message your intended recipient will receive will have no other context, and your intended recipient may think it's spam. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So we've clicked send, and a message is sent. Here's what the actual message would look like in the recipient's inbox. It's sent by MHRIC, since they administer the regional data warehouse. Other than that, there is no indication whatsoever about who the email is directed to or who it came from. This could make the recipient think it's spam. To combat that, it's best practices to write your message including who it's to and who it's from, something like this. Here you can see who it's to, who it's from, and what action may need to be taken. Once you click the Open Report button, your recipient will be taken directly to the report in Level 2. And this is why you can only send a report to someone who has Level 2 access. If you try to send it to someone who doesn't have Level 2 access, they will not be able to open a report. The Run icon is used to run an instance of a report. It's a redundancy of the Finish button. Use whichever one feels better for you. Refresh is similar, but what is different is that you can use this button if you've made changes in your selected report parameters. Use Refresh or Finish. They'll pretty much do the same thing. The Select a Format button defaults to HTML, but if you click it, you'll be presented with a number of file format choices. We're in the default HTML option, so you can see how that appears. Excel, Excel data, CSV, and XML will be a download you can save to your computer. And PDF opens the report as a PDF that you can interact with. Let's take a look at that. The first thing you may notice is that the Select a Format icon has changed from HTML to PDF. The report is now displayed as it would print as a PDF, and you have a bunch of new icons in the upper right-hand corner. These icons only become available when you are viewing a PDF. Most of them are fairly self-explanatory. Switch to presentation mode shows you PDF as it might print on a piece of paper. You can open another PDF file, print or download your report from here. I just want to focus on the last two tools, the current view icon and the tools icon. Remember, these are only available when you're viewing a PDF. The current view icon that looks like a bookmark doesn't actually bookmark your PDF report to my knowledge. Rather, if you right-click on it, it shows you this Windows menu from where you can open the PDF in a new tab, a new window, or go incognito. And lastly, there's the Tools menu that provides a number of ways to interact with your PDF. Next, we'll learn how to subscribe to a report in L2RPT. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would I want to subscribe to a report? If you have a report that you look at often, such as the UIAS report, reasonableness report, attendance report, or others, subscribing can save you from having to render the report each time you want to view it. Level 2 will do that for you instead. Incidentally, this function is also available in Level 1. When you are in a report, and this is the SIR 701 UIAS report, you'll notice that a new icon appears in the top blue bar. It's another 3 dots. This one is called the More icon. When you click on it, it only brings up one option, subscribe. When you click on subscribe, you'll be presented with another dialog box. From here, you can specify a number of values, such as what days you would like to receive your selected report. You can choose 1 or more days here. You can also define what time that you would like to receive your report. The next 3 options, format, delivery, and prompts, can be edited by clicking on the faint gray arrows that you can barely see right here. So I've gone ahead and made my edits, and let's take a look at what I chose. As you can see, I will be receiving my report every Thursday. You can tell that because the T for Thursday is bolded. If I had selected multiple days, those letters would be bolded as well. I'm going to be receiving it at 5 a.m. so that it's in my inbox waiting for me when I get in first thing in the morning. I can take a look at it. It's going to send the report to me in an Excel format by email. And these prompts, this refers to what these items are here. So it says to schedule prompt values. If you were running a report that had 4 drop downs, it would say 4 schedule prompt values. So once I have my subscription settings how I want them, I can click on the Create button, at which time you will receive a notification that you have been subscribed. To unsubscribe, you can go back to the Personal menu, and in the upper right, and select My Schedules and Subscriptions option. There may be no shortcuts in life, but there are definitely shortcuts in level 2. Let's learn how to make them. Let's say you want to subscribe to the SIRS 328 Staff Out of Certification Verification Report because you want to make sure on a continuing basis that your teachers are certified for the classes that they teach. Go to Team Content, L2RPT Report SETAS, and then the Staff folder. You can always see where you are in level 2 by looking at the breadcrumbs that are always going to be right here. The breadcrumbs are also hyperlinks that will take you back to where you've come from. Once you click the checkbox next to the report that you want to subscribe to, like so, you'll notice that the row is now highlighted in gray, and a new set of icons has appeared above the list. The More icon opens this submenu from where you can select a number of options. To add a shortcut to this report, click the Add Shortcut icon. Once you do, a dialog box will open. At the top of the dialog box, you can see the action you will be taking, Create Shortcut, and the report to which the shortcut will point. It also gives you the option to save to My Content or Team Content folder. Even though there are 2 options here, we can only save to the My Content folder. Remember, you can put a shortcut into a folder you've already made, or you can keep it in the root of My Content, which is what we're going to do for now. So click the Create Shortcut button, and there you have it, a shortcut to the report. Clicking on the shortcut from here will bring you directly to the report. You may also have noticed that when you are looking at a list of reports, you will also see these dots to the right of each report. This is called the Action menu. It is also available in Tiles view when you hover over each tile. When you click on the Action menu for your selected report, a new submenu pops up. And here again, you have a number of options for how you can interact with your selected report, including creating a report view, sharing, and adding a shortcut, all of which we've discussed in this training session. We hope you found this session helpful as you get started with your level 2 reports in COGNOS version 11.2.4. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at datawarehouse@mhric.org. Thank you.